attend to the SBR Sequence Batch Reactor Conference in South France, and moving to Spain through the train.
Oh, through train.
Because I wondered once you use the flight, so that some record to the stamp is remaining. So I did not propose to the visit to Spain. Just France and just the Denmark and Germany and Switzerland. I limited number of the country during my overseas stay. So if the son from Spain, so sabbatical, so office. What is this? This is out of the plan. Okay, so I prepare.
So thank you for this allowing to have interview with me. So this is the first time actually to have interview with the colleagues. So I'm not good at to have interview. So so nobody did. I realized among our colleagues in the engineering period. So other humanity persons been doing this interview many times, but engineer always search for or interested in research in lab with the community and to make a paper. But I realized this is sometimes maybe useful to deliver some kind of message, some kind of lesson to young generation, including students and the faculty even. That's why I ask you. So you cordially and kindly accepted this interview. So I really appreciate it.
You are welcome.
So there is no strict purpose of this interview. So we would like to have the record. So I summarize and to give the students your lesson in my class and so sort of things. So that's
I hope I can provide a good message.
Thank you very much. And so we've been working together since last I think 15 years, right? And after that I always respect your achievement. So you teach me a lot, and so I had the chance to present mine in this the university long time ago because you invited me, and so you did a lot of work in water and environmental period. And I think you already content with your achievement. But so my first question, so you still have some kind of a goal remain in your life as a faculty in this area?
So I'm now 62 years old, and I started my research when graduate students, and also got a new research associate or assistant professors more than 35 years ago. Then I visited I worked at a different university. It is a really strong point for me to expand knowledge. But at the same time, so each period not so long, it was not so easy for me to sum up or complete the research outcome during my stay for each university. So in the sense, now is the close to 20 years since I moved from Ibaraki University to current University of Tokyo. I have a really long period studying or do research here. So I would like to kind of publish the well-organized book written by myself or mainly by me. It is one goal. It means the kind of based on my knowledge or outcome of the research project, I would like to publish the book. If possible, I want to publish it in English as well. It is a one, and but now I got a new research grant focusing urban flood risk management by introducing the real-time sensing and to the model predictions using the data assimilations. This is really interesting and exciting project. now is the kind of preliminary research. But this year, we will have the evaluation of this preliminary project. Then our achievement or some outcome as is evaluated good enough, we can proceed to the real big research program for 5 years. So once this project is accepted for big one, so I want to do many research and also do the implementations of our idea or system in the actual local cities. This is the kind of second big goal for me. I'm not sure we can do it or not at this moment.
Okay. Do you mention the local city?
Local city means
Tokyo or others?
No.
Japan.
Tokyo, and now we conducted some experimental research work in Yokohama City. We already installed some water level sensor in the drainage pipe, and the real-time monitoring data is transmitted to the cloud. Cloud data can be connected to some big server. Then we can provide to some runoff or inundation simulation model there. So we can use the monitoring data, and data is used to provide a better prediction in the future on the inundation water level in the drainage pipe. So once we can get these predictions, so this information can be provided to the storage works or river management persons how to operate the control to the pumping stations or river management, also thinking about to the utilization pond gate. They can provide a more efficient or effective control to the using the facility. So now we developed the model so that both river and storage group collaborate each other using the platform model. So it is more beneficial and more useful and effective control can be achieved. This is my goal or dream.
Is it connected to future technology such as artificial engineering, artificial intelligence engineering, and big data analysis?
Yeah, it is not so directly related to AI, but the big data is really important. A lot of sensing data. And we can provide a lot of simulation data. So learning from the lot of simulation results, might be we can develop some AI use to which is really nice predictions in the future. So now is the Japan, we have the society 5.0. So we try to use IoT or ICT technique and AI, and we try to develop or establish the more smart society. So I want to contribute from some storage works and river management sectors.
Okay, first you mentioned you would like to publish, you want to publish books in Japan, Japanese and English as well. So in Japan academic the mood and environment, which one actually people prefer to publish either in Japanese or in English?
Basically, so regarding to the textbook, maybe English is better.
Okay.
Yeah, because recently, so the Japanese students' number is decreasing. Publishers don't want to have the textbook in Japanese. But my feeling, so I want to publish the more expert or special or professional book focused on research, not the education purpose. This case, so I'm not sure publisher want to publish this book or not. But sometimes much easy for me to find the publisher in Japan to publish. That's the reason why. So it is not so easy to publish the technical book in Japan now, because the expected number of the readers of the special book is limited, decreasing. So, but still the kind of publish some my integrated outcome or outreach or something, And this is the kind of some, even if I died, this is remaining.
Oh, yeah.
It is
I
a good,
agree,
good
yeah.
feeling.
Okay. So how difficult for the professor in Japan so publish in English actually?
Difficulty comes from the limited available time, but we can manage time. So the capable professor try to manage to find that enough time to write the book. But sometimes the time to write the journal paper is relatively easy to find.
Okay.
But the writing book need a lot of time and the concentrations. Okay, so it means a sabbatical leave is a one chance. But I already used when I was 40 Switzerland.
Okay.
There is a one. It was a one chance for me, but I did not select to write a book. I still do want to do the research or do some survey in Switzerland, and I published some paper. So I'm not sure it is a good decision or not. So time is really key. As well, of course, at the same time, we prefer to write in Japanese. So I'm not so good at English, but still we can have some person's help to improve the English. Might be sometimes non-native writer provide a better, easy English, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So so you mentioned your the project to be hopefully selected.
Yeah.
Okay, for next 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So but you did you performed you have achieved a lot of outcome with many different projects in your life.
Yes.
Okay, if you selected only one project you remember as actually typical or the one you actually have pride in it, so can you tell me one project and can you describe your project?
Yes.
Only one? Yes.
Yes. So the one of the highlighted project in my research work is the JST, Japan Science and Technology Agency, provide to the top-down project. We call it the CREST, is the core research for evolution science and technology. So we abbreviate, take the CREST, CREST. So it is a top-down. So that they, government or some agency, JST, provide to the kind of research region or theme. Under this, we propose to the big 5 years project. Then the 2009, so the sustainable, innovative technology and system for sustainable water use. This is the core research theme. So my proposal was accepted. Then the 6 or 7 team was working on under this CREST project. So my title of the research is Development of Well-Balanced Urban Water System, Urban Water Use System Adapted for Climate Change. So the climate change has a big impact to the water resources and also changing to the flooding and also water scarcity, different behavior on the river flow. At the same time, we try to find out some alternative water resources, urban area, like rainwater and also the rainwater, shallow groundwater as well. Basically, in Japan, we really rely on the dam water, surface water, and maybe 20% of groundwater. So we're thinking about once we try to harmonize to the climate change and also the urbanizations, especially in the big city, we try to provide a better insight or understanding, availability of rainwater and also rainwater harvesting. So I want to look at the demand and supply, looking at the climate change. It means the rainwater harvesting depends on the climate change, but the rainwater need more energy to produce better. So we want to know the water quality variability or amount variability in the future. Then we also consider to the environmental cost. It means how much energy is necessary, how much chemicals, some other is necessary to produce the rainwater. So we try to provide a different aspect, and we provide to the many evaluation index, including global impact, local environmental impact, cost, and also acceptability of the persons, and also the additional amenity or something. We provide many multiple indicators or evaluation index. Then we show the scientifically, so which water resource, how much available, what kind of water quality, how to evaluate. Then we make some kind of some discussion team to make a consensus among the community or society. So we, very limited person cannot predict in the future. So we try to get to the climate change effect. We can look at the 2060 or 2080, how change to the climate and the weather. So please look at the, not at this time, because the actual municipality look at the 5 years later, just 10 years later. Sometimes a long-term plan might be the 10 years or 15. But looking at the climate change, we have to look at the 50 years later. It means the water supply or sewage treatment plant lifetime, usually the 40 or 50 or 60 years. It means once we look at in the future, how to renovate, how to renew the system, looking at the future. This time, so we provide the scientific information of climate change effect and how reclaimed water have the value, how rainwater harvesting can possible. Then we can look at the future and we can try to move to the future design of the water supply, water use in the society.
Okay, so you mentioned this project is one of your
Yes.
The
Big,
project.
yeah.
Take pride. Okay, so then with this the project you mentioned, so it is the strongly related to climate change issue.
Climate change or the focusing water use, behavior in the urban area.
For a
sustainable way,
Okay.
especially the big city like Tokyo.
especially long term.
Long term.
Okay, so then during this the project, so did you tell your project and the philosophy and outcome of your project to the public person and different area person from engineering and technology as well?
So this project a little bit unique point is we have to work with the meteorology expert, not the engineering.
Okay, meteorology.
Meteorology.
Okay.
And also we have to work with the urban planning group, and also also work with the social science. Science,
okay.
because it's society-oriented work.
Okay.
Then also we work with the local government, water sectors. So we do some scientific research, climate change, and quality evaluations, future predictions, and how can use the groundwater, how contaminate the groundwater. So we focusing on Tokyo area and the Ara River Basin, and also looking at the Hanoi city.
In Vietnam.
Yeah, in Vietnam, the two cities. So they have the different main water resource. Hanoi focusing on groundwater, but the limited of water, they expand to the new development of surface water. So Tokyo already big, we have a lot of dam, but the population is decreasing. So many different situations.
Okay.
So this case, so what I want to say we look at the watershed level society, only engineering research cannot be solve the problem.
No.
We need to collaborate with other. And also, as well as science or engineer, we also have to work together with the local government. So we have the strong contact with the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, engineers or practitioner persons, and also Saitama City persons. In fact, we provide the scientific information to Saitama. We organize some 25 citizens are selected with different kind of some preference of the water, and we can make a discussion meeting
with the 25.
20%. It means 25% have the 5 group. Each group
from 5 person. Five groups.
Five group, 5 persons. And 5 person have the different preference. And a different age, different gender. Then they discuss together. They look at the future. So the expert, me, we provide to the future climate change, how to rainwater harvesting, how is the rainwater. And also the Saitama city officers provide to the current situations, what is the water resource, how to supply the water. Then we can provide to scientific informations. Then each group discuss together, what is the 2050, 2060 years, which kind of some water supply system, what kind of some water use system is better. We provided the 11 scenario. More same as now, and more environmental friendly, less costly. We provide the different options. Originally they say the dream in the future, and we provide the answer, our idea. So they discuss together. Each group have the different idea. After discussions, each group make their proposal in the future. So this this kind of some discussion meeting is the helpful for them to negotiate, to try to make a consensus among them. In fact, some people have the different idea, but each group propose some idea, and some people change the idea. So it is really interesting. In this case, most important things, so the scientific information should be provided from university or research side, and also municipality officers have to provide right information of current situations. Then provide the informations, they discuss together.
Do you think it is one of a democratic way to make a policy and to compromise between the citizens?
It means it is not so necessary to just follow to the citizen idea. Still the municipality officers, they make a decisions. And also mayor can make decision.
Even though,
It means they learn how to recommend their best options, even if preference of the citizen different from them. So they understand why they prefer this. Then,
when was it actually?
It means 7 years, means 2016.
2016.
Yeah, 3 years ago, we organized to this is the final target. That's the reason why we developed the software. Once we put to the different weighting factor, I already told you the evaluation index. So global warming, high priority, local pollution control, and cost, or good water quality level drinking, and more reclaimed water used to the water channel or park. There are different aspects. So once we put the different weighting factor, the many scenario. So low cost, just the rapid sand filtration. But the people want to drink a better one, ozonation introduced, but the more cost, and also high environmental cost. But still they can pay more 3 yen per more, 10 years more. We also provide the difference among 11 scenario. So once they look at, they can thinking about how to weigh the cost. No, environment is better. So this is our big achievement is we developed the software. Information is put in, so this software provide to the scenario.
Okay. To decide their future.
Make a scenario, not the
To decide. Okay.
to help the decisions. We cannot decide. My idea is we cannot decide, but we can provide the possible scenario which can be useful for them to make a decision.
To make decision. Okay. Yeah. So do you believe strongly it works in the future?
In the future, but the project is finished, money stop. It is not so easy to continue to do that. Okay. That's a problem.
Okay, but you have to do some kind of after service, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, so in my software include to the reclaimed water and the drinking water for surface and groundwater and rainwater, many options. But it is too much. So I developed a new small size software focusing only drinking water. It means that they have many cities, so how to integrate water service among the cities.
Okay. So next question is about some environment or some kind of event or fact to make you what you are. So to be a distinguished professor at the University of Tokyo. You mentioned you moved a couple of universities and you have done a lot of projects. So I think you are a very distinguished professor in the world and you are delivering a lot of good message to young generation. So if you explain what kind of things, what kind of event, what kind of a condition from your side to make you what you are right now.
Basically, I'm not so distinguished professor. Of course, I'm active professors. I'm sure. I try to be active. And the most important point to makes me active or good research might be continuous effort of improving myself. I try to improve better tomorrow than today. So I try to find the weak point. I try to learn from the other persons. Then keeping this behavior and also provide to this message to the students. Did you try to best today? How to improve tomorrow? So this is one important my character.
Okay, so when you would like to or you want to improve yourself, I think you have to find the weakness point. So how you find your weak point? Because you are professors and researchers, so already done a lot of things. So what aspect, what point can be used for you to find your weak point?
I'm not sure weak point is a good word or not.
Just
I attend to the conference.
Yes.
So I listen to something. It is really new and much different from my some logical thinking. I learn from them. It means we try to find. I try to find some more attractive thinking way or idea. Sometimes just a presentation style, or sometimes a talking style. So we learn from them and try to introduce myself and change myself. In other words, try to improve means that every time I try to be curious many things.
I see.
Curiosity.
Yes.
Curiosity is a really important to look at the new thing. What is this? Why? It is really important for me.
What kind of conference are you attending now?
So basically, I'm a member of the IWA, International Water Associations. So mainly just the World Water Congress and the Asian Pacific Region Aspire Conference. So basically I attend every time. And also I also include to the specialist group, urban drainage group. So we attend to the specialist group conference. And also sometimes the diffuse pollutions, and sometimes the water microbiology, sometimes watershed, sometimes the nutrients. I belong to 5 specialist group. Not every time, but the once I have the chance to present. And also I attended to the IEEC in Korea. And sometimes I invited to some conference. I also attend. But basically not so many times. But compared to other professors, I attend relatively many times.
So the conference you're attending right now, so did it change a lot from the conference you attended when you are young, much younger than now? So when you start the professors, so what kind of a conference you prefer to attend at that time?
At that time, I prefer to attend to some specialty conference. Specialty conference. More focusing, just at 200 or less than 100. So more intensive discussion and research. But gradually, so the presentation will be done by students, not me. And I just to present my kind of some lecture, more chance. It means the more human network or communication of the other professors, and we want to know what kind of research going on in that university, or what is a new project going on. Not a more detailed research. Sometimes I talk about the detailed research, water research conference or something. So sometimes, but gradually changing to the research or science space, gradually changing to the more movement, or maybe I'm old or become old. Maybe I should contribute these aspects and science, because the young faculty member work hard for that.
Okay, so you mentioned in University of Tokyo, so number of students in undergraduate program is almost same as the faculty number of the same school. So you mentioned the government and other agencies control the number of students. So is that all reason, or there are some kind of a mood? The environmental engineering is not any longer popular among young students in University of Tokyo. What do you think?
Some environmental engineering or environment is an interesting issue for young generations. But currently, information technology, robot, or some other is more attractive for them. So still the environment is key. But gradually, environment is prevail to the all engineering. Environmental engineering, one of them. So compared to the 10 or 20 years ago, environment is really key. More students want to come. But sometimes chemical engineering or mechanical engineering also deal with the sustainability or environment.
But they are gone right now.
So it means, so the environment is one of the key, but still we more focusing urban and public health is a new aspect. That's the reason why mainly recently I focusing on the pathogens behavior in the coastal waters, so more closely related to human health. Because the environmental engineering originally come from the sanitary engineering. Sanitary is directly related to the public health. But Japan succeeded to improve environmental pollutions, public nuisance, air pollutions, this is almost good. Water pollutions, almost good. Still, we look at the new micropollutants or virus, or new emergent, some contaminant should be dealt with. These cannot be done to other department of the school. We need to keep our special features.
So, so next question is I'd like to ask you your opinion. So university, you are faculty and professor of the University of Tokyo. Number one in the Japan.
Yes.
The probably probably number one in the Asian universities. I believe.
No. Recently, some organizations said that the National University
reputation. So a lot of person actually interested in ranking through publication number and citation number and a lot of the index. What do you think of this mood? So we can use these types of index to decide the university ranking. What do you think about this mood? And the young generation would like to be professor of a university, so they concern a lot of times publication and citation number. So sometimes I concern personally, but I'd like to know your opinion on this.
How can I say? So some ranking is we also careful for that.
Sure.
And the University of Tokyo try to be a top of the world, but still based on the current evaluation system, so the University of Tokyo have the limited number of the foreign faculty and foreign students compared to other big universities, United States, United Kingdom, some like Singapore and Hong Kong. So among the university in Asia, still the Hong Kong or China or Singapore little bit better than us. So it means we look at what is the point to be improved more. Ranking is the relative, okay? But I do not have any idea to improve to the ranking. I want to write more paper. Ranking is ranking. Just I want to publish a paper with high quality and really qualified journal paper and publish science or research work. I do not look at the ranking, but the ranking provides some hint to improve something. We look at drawback compared to others. But to be honest, I'm not so concerned about the ranking. But the headquarters of the university look at and they try to change something. So they try to increase to the women's faculty and also try to get to the foreign, and also try to provide some more scholarship. Especially they try to increase to the students of the doctoral program. So they have the strategy based on ranking.
Okay. So whenever I visit University of Tokyo, the students, Japanese students, they speak English very fluently. I think better than me, and a long time. So whenever, I'm surprised. So they are very good. They are international students, I believe. So open to other culture of the research, I believe. Okay.
So might be the main reason why so very high qualified high school students got enter, but some students are not so good at English even if but the ones enter to the university, so the undergraduate program and also School of Engineering, we try to increase to the lectures or opportunity to speak in English or writing in English. Once to enter the graduate program in a department, all lecture given in English. Even if the domestic students also listen to the lecture in English, even if they are not so good at English. It means a very high frequent exposure of the English. And also many international students belong to our department. They have more chance to speak in English, even if the not so good at enough in the United States, or but between the non-native English speakers, their level is much higher when I was students.
We still use English to communicate. Right? Sometimes it is very interesting. We have to use English between Japanese and Korean. It's a funny story, but okay. Thank you. And you know the fine dust.
fine dust?
Aerosol.
Aerosol, yes.
Kind of. So we have a lot of problem right now in Korea.
From China or no? Just
From China and both from our domestic regions, domestic source. We have a lot of, so we have to mask from inhaling of the fine dust, dust and aerosol. But Japan is kind of free from fine dust and aerosol. Right?
Oh, I'm not
What do you
sure.
think? Okay.
Sometimes a pollen, algae.
Pollen is different from fine dust.
Fine dust, PM 2.5.
Yes,
or
exactly.
PM 10.
Yes.
Yeah. Compared to the China,
In
might
Korea.
be we have a Korea. I'm not sure Korea.
Korea is bad, so bad right now.
It means that we try to control to the emission for the vehicles.
Okay.
We successfully could control from
I
the
see.
diesel
I see.
car. So this is also the emission of the incinerations also control. Factory also control. We try to introduce some air pollution control device. And one more things we have to look at. Many second category industry construct to the factory outside of Japan. Now, car company sometimes built in United States or some other, so less emissions.
Okay.
This is another factor. But the
Okay.
control emissions and also the decrease of the productions or manufacturing.
Okay. Plants.
Mm.
Okay.
So that's the reason why maybe less polluted on the fine dust in Japan.
Okay. And so when you ask elementary school students
Elementary school
and
students.
high school
High
students
school.
and middle school students as well, so what's the priority, the job and occupation they hope to be in the future in Japan? What do you think? So is there currently? But second question is are there any students to be environmental engineer in the future in Japan?
It depends on the age.
Okay.
Sometimes to the some elementary, sometimes they want to be a professional soccer players or baseball, and but might be junior high school. Sometimes they want to be a kind of some work at the big company. Sometimes engineer, sometimes medical science or
Make a
doctors.
doctors.
It depends. So recent trend, I'm not so sure, which is good.
Okay.
But the environmental engineer is too specific. Maybe not for elementary school, not for junior high school, even for high school. Environmental engineer might be appear their mind when they become to the university students.
Okay.
This is
but they about 10 years ago and 20 years ago, so when we in Korea at least, when you ask elementary school students what kind of a job do you want to have, what kind of person to be in the future, so they frequently
answer
the
environmental engineer,
to become environmental engineer or environmental scientist. But right now, nobody, no students in younger generation mentioned that. So it's kind of a reality, I believe. So they don't have any dream to be the scientist in this area to solve our problem. For example, climate change and other.
Yeah.
But also it is very sad to hear that. So the system change or the mood and environmental change, I'm not sure exactly. So in Japan, so that's why I ask you. So I think we need to think about our education. So how we actually improve the system in education in the area of environmental engineering or and the urban planning side. What do you think?
So my feeling is the some sustainability
Okay.
should be focused. So the sustainability can be support to the environmental friendly, sometimes the information technology, many technology can support, achieve to the sustainable society or something.
Okay.
But among them, still the environment consciousness or environmental technology would be key. So just to the polluted situations should be controlled in the developing country still. But in Japan, we almost control very good level.
Okay.
So
I
that's the
agree.
reason why just the pollutions
Okay.
is not so easy to provide to the some motivations for young generation
I see.
interested in. That's the reason why some more micropollutants or new emerging target are more interesting for them. But the most important things to the how to manage to the society or environment to develop or establish the sustainable society. So that as well as environment might be sustainable development or sustainability should be more focused on that. This is my feeling.
Okay.
Because when I was more than around 40 years ago, at that time still the pollutions. That's the reason why many students want to solve the environmental problem.
Okay, that's the
Continue
okay.
to the 10 or 20 years. Still I'm 35. Still the pollutions. Okay. But now it's changing.
Okay.
So the basic pollutions control now. One more thing, some students enter our department, they want to do some practical work in developing country for solve their environment pollutions. Not in Japan. They want to go outside to solve the problem in Vietnam or some Thailand or Southeast Asia. Some students really interested in that. So 2 or 3 students, master course students, after master thesis, they got a job in JICA. Main reason they want to go outside and do some environment or public health or sanitation program, solve the problem in this country. They want to contribute to them. So that there are maybe in Japan, but at the same time, environmental problems still exist in the developing country. So our department should also contribute to solve the problem in developing country.
Okay. So in university level, so you mentioned the importance of a sustainability concept for the society a little bit more stable, like in Japan and the US and EU country. So how you put the sustainability concept, I think you already done, but into our education, the program and courses, including University of Tokyo.
It is not so easy to answer,
Okay.
but the sustainability cover the diverse field. Only engineering, only science cannot be provide to answer. It means that engineering-oriented person have to communicate with the science person, sometimes social science person, sometimes the medical persons. We have to diverse to the communications or collaborations. Might be we can develop some more sustainable methodology, because the only technology or technique does not work well. But the only concept is not enough, because some new technology, new innovation is necessary to change something. So this kind of some concept should be educated to young generations. You belong to the Department of Urban Engineering. Even if you belong to the environmental engineering program, I want to advise them, please communicate with urban planning students. If necessary, you try to communicate with the civil engineering. You also contact with the architecture. If you are more looking at the membrane technology or something, treatment process, why don't you contact with the material science? If you look at the biology or microbiology, why don't you go to science? And also to the kind of some groundwater something. Sometimes so the agriculture faculty is an expert on that. So we have to look at the wide view to look at the some relevant research field or sector and science and some others. So communications or collaborations or contact with them is really important. So it means the narrow, deep, but still we need a little bit wide view.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how to include this idea in the education program. Might be I try to provide to the some opportunity to meet other department professors like you. So yes, same group, but sometimes we invite to the microbiologist and give the lecture. Sometimes some other department professors, some ecology, they provide to the special lecture. So a little bit students exposed to this different specialist or professional. It is not the systematic education, but this is one opportunity is given to them.
Okay. Okay. So, how do you predict the prospect of environmental engineering in the future with a lot of big data, artificial engineering, technology you mentioned before, from IT area. So I think, personally, I hope to think, so we have still a lot of things to do as environmental engineer, but what do you think about this prospect?
At this moment, so I have conducted some urban flood management or risk management. This is a little bit not the environmental engineering, more water engineering or kind of. But still, I look at to the some quality aspect. So that's the reason why I continue to work on that. And also, drainage system is dealt with by the environmental engineering. So that's the main reason. So that I do not want to just fix on the environmental engineering, but a little bit wider concept, widely. But the might be looking at the future. So still, I want to say that to find a new step or big shift, not shift, just the big step to the next in the future. Might be IT or AI is a one aspect. It is not necessarily IT or IoT. In my case, ICT or AI is necessary.
New project.
Project. But my feeling is not within the environmental engineer. There is no breakthrough. It is important to look at to some related research field. Then kind of different. Recently, I want to say the open innovations. Keyword is open. Currently, I keep my open innovations. We need innovation. Okay, new concept. But the new concept usually come from the fusion of the different specialist discussions. So we learn each other. We know more different way. Then I explain to my way to others to explain to them. So the kind of some discussion or communications generate new idea.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
kind of very
Okay.
important. So
Okay. With that, so recently in Korea as well, but mostly in Japan, so a lot of disaster. So like earthquake.
Yes.
So happen. So a lot of our infrastructure may be broken. So you mentioned sustainability. So with these two different topic and issue, so of disaster management and sustainability, how could you actually mingle these two concepts of engineering into one to maintain our city and urban area and infrastructure safe and prepare for the future?
Oh, I see. So the last year I organized the IWA World Water Congress. The theme is sustainability and resilience.
Oh, really? Oh, resilience.
Yeah,
Okay.
disaster aspect, not the sustainability. Some resilience. Society should keep the kind of some strongness or more robust to the disaster. It's a kind of some less frequent risk. But sometimes sustainability or climate change with time. But we also manage the some system from the disaster. Okay, so it means the extreme event in response to the extreme event, and also trend that we have to some manage or deal with both aspects. So sustainability is also, but the resilience would be most important. But the sometimes sustainability can include the resilience, but it is easy for me to understand this is a different aspect, and to establish the resilient society and the sustainable way. So this is my feeling. So that's the reason why some my topics current urban front. So we established the safe and resilient society from the urban front.
Okay. So in your department, so resilience is being covered by environmental engineering or urban planning sectors. In your school.
One laboratory deal with the urban disaster management, risk management.
Okay, environmental engineering.
No, urban planning.
Urban planning.
Because the city have some problem to the fire or earthquake or some water disaster.
Water disaster.
Water disaster as well, and also civil engineering. They more look at the more some watershed level disaster, river flood. So it is not stick only one department. That's the reason why
should be combined. Okay.
But that's the reason why this year I established a new research chair focusing urban flood, supported by 12 private company. So I invite to the one associate professor from urban planning working on the urban disaster management, also working this chair. I also work for that. So it means, as I told you, so they just only same group or same department. We have a little bit limitation to expand our idea.
Okay, this is the last question. Thank you for your patience. So how many the students you have from Korea?
Now is only one.
In your life. In your life.
In my life.
In your career, whole career.
Whole, but not so many.
Okay.
But as far as remember well, so the three PhD degree. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and the two master. Now is a one PhD candidate.
Okay. So what do you think? So we are neighboring country, but sometimes we are not that much friendly each other. But with the scientific and engineering sector, so I think we have to collaborate for the future. So do you suggest one idea
to
how we improve collaborations and between two countries? So we've been we've been doing a lot of things between two countries, but if you have any suggestion and opinion to make a progress between two countries with technology, especially in environmental water management.
So looking at the future, so not me, young generations, young faculty member try to have the kind of collaboration research, but some idea is that not works well. Money is necessary. It means they try to find the counterpart who are really expert and interested in each other. That superficial collaboration does not work well. Just 1 year is enough. But once both researchers involved in the same topics and they are top leaders on that, they propose to research project and find out a fund, both JSPS or JST and also the Korean Science Foundation something. Once the money is there, okay, not so big money, but easy to travel each other, and the PhD or master course students also travel each other, they know more, and to kind of stimulate each other and produce a good paper, and the co-author is Japan and Korea. So it is easy to think. So in other words, it means not necessarily to Korea. If they find to some Singapore or Hong Kong,
of course, yes,
it means what is really expertise persons. In fact, my one assistant professor for work on the quorum sensing to control to the biofiling. I know, he know, so very famous professor in Seoul. So he visited there. They almost started to some collaboration work. It means the top or leading professors there, let it be easy to do it. Then try to propose to the joint research program and start it. This is one way. Another way is I have unfortunately two among three. One is not finished to academic, more practical or something. The one is the KIST, KICT, Korean Institute Construction Technology, ICT, and one is the National Disaster Management Center or something in Ulsan.
That's a research institute.
Research institute.
I know
it means former students work in this research institute, university. It is a good trigger to work together. So it means that once good students have the chance to come University of Tokyo, so it is a good idea to collaborate because the one student, current Mr. Park, is recommended by my former PhD students in National Disaster Risk Management. It means
Thank you very much for the long time, and it is a very honor for me to have you here.
I'm also happy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.